Hello and welcome to the Municipal Measurement Program training video for 2023. The Municipal Measurement Program was delivered by the Recycling Partnership and Re-TRAC Connect. My name is Carla Bergstrom, and today I'll be walking you through the new MSW Program Collection Survey. In 2023, three new surveys were launched for the MMP. So they've been broken out by waste stream. So we have the Recycling Collection Programs Survey, the MSW Collection Programs, which is the one we'll be looking at a bit closer today, and the Yard and Food Waste Collection Program Survey. So within the MSW Collection Programs, there's three sections that we're going to be completing. The first section is related to single-family curbside MSW program data. So we look for households served, so the household numbers, collection frequency, MSW tonnage, and container data is also collected in that section. There's a multifamily MSW program collection section where we can look at multifamily households served and multifamily tonnage. And we also have a residential MSW drop-off program collection survey, which looks at the MSW drop-off tonnage data. So all of the data that gets entered into these surveys, as well as in the other surveys you see here over on the right, all get used to generate analytical reports. So once you've completed your surveys, within the MMP, you'll have access to numerous analytical reports. Diversion rates, pounds per household, numerous trend reports, tonnage analysis reports, and economic benefits of recycling. So hopefully after today, you'll be able to get started and complete those surveys. Let's go ahead and take a look at the new MMP. Before we do that, however, I just want to show you a couple of resources that might be helpful for you as you move forward. So this is the municipalmeasurement.com website. This is a website specific to everything MMP. Has all the information about what the MMP is trying to achieve regarding creating a centralized database for local government program information that state, county, and regional agencies can use to improve recycling in the U.S. If you're not currently a member of the MMP, this is where you want to go and you can sign up. It's free to participate in the MMP for all municipalities, counties, and regional agencies. So basically how it works is municipalities, counties, and regional agencies apply to join the MMP. They complete their MMP surveys, and they can get access to numerous reports. State, county, and regional government agencies can purchase a subscription to the data that's entered into the MMP. So they would basically purchase a subscription to access the data entered by the municipalities, counties, and regional agencies within their jurisdiction. They encourage participation, they perform survey reviews, and of course, they also get access to numerous analytical reports. So if you want to learn more about the different aspects of the MMP, up across the top, there's some information on participating in the MMP. There's some specific information for state, county, and regional governments. There's a resources section here where you can access some user guides and helpful promo kits and things like that to get you started. And over on the right-hand side, there is a login button. When you click login, it's going to redirect you to your Re-TRAC login screen. So to log into Re-TRAC, you can navigate to app.re-trac.com. Notice that little dash right in there. And that will be where you'll enter your password or your email and then your password and get access to your MMP account. For the training purposes today, I'm not going to use our live site. I'm going to go into a training account that I've already got set up over here. So slightly different URL. I'm using just a fake email address, a fake account, basically to see, to show you, how you can get through the surveys. So this is not live data, but it's a great example. When you enter your password here, You can then click Login. If you ever forget your password, you can click on the Forgot Password link. It'll help reset it for you. And once you're logged in, you'll get to your home page. So I see the MMP here on my home page. I'm in a sample, as an MMP sample user, I only have access to one program here, so that's the one I'm seeing. When I click on it, I see my sample city, where I can then click on this bar, and that will take me to my workspace where I'm able to access the surveys. So in the workspace, you'll see here for my sample city, I see the 3 surveys that we just saw in the PowerPoint a few moments ago. There's the MSW Collection Program survey, the Recycling Collection Program, and the Yard and Food Waste. You'll see that once surveys get completed, the status will change. So you can create draft, or if you see new here, it means that it hasn't been started yet, which means it's ready to start completing. Completed means obviously you've already done it. Up on the top of your workspace, you can also access your MMP history. So if you've been participating in the MMP for a number of years, you can click here to access your previous surveys for previous years. I will go ahead now and open the MSW Collection Programs survey. Just going to grab a sample here. One moment while I pull this over. So here's the sample city, and here's the new MMP survey for the MSW Collection Programs. So there's a little introduction section here, and if you notice, it's referencing the data that's going to be collected, and there's also some survey instructions available on the top right corner. The survey instructions just open a small window that tell you a little bit more about this survey, and you're able to access user guides here. So if you want, you can click on that link, and it will take you to the user guide very specific to the MSW Collection Program survey. It's a step-by-step guide that help you get your data in. So here's the first section of the MSW collection, and it's talking about single-family curbside MSW collection. The first question is going to ask you to select the agency responsible for providing the service. So if your municipality or your county provides services to residents for single-family curbside, then you would select that one, the top option. If, for example, services are provided by another agency, like maybe you're a municipality, you don't provide the service, maybe the county provides the service. So you can say it's provided by another agency, and you could enter in the name of the other agency, so the county that would provide that service. You might have an open market system where residents just contract out directly with haulers, and there's maybe a bunch of different options for them to contract with, and they just independently, residents contract directly with those service providers. Or maybe you don't have curbside services for MSW. If you select the top option, however, and if your agency is the one responsible for providing the service, then you're going to get a bunch of follow-up questions about the type of service and how the services are delivered. So the first question here is the number of households that are served by your MSW collection program. You'll notice these numbers are already populating in here for me. I'm getting all these answers already. Like, where did that come from? This information that you're seeing here has populated from a previous year's response. So I'm using an example of a member who has reported to the MMP for multiple years. One of the advantages of reporting year after year is that data does populate, so it becomes a lot less data to enter if the information that you're entering is the same. So for example, if you have the same number of households that you served last year as you did this year, then that number can stay the same. If you serve less or more households, then you can, of course, adjust the number as needed. The next question is how the services are provided to your residents. So there's different ways of providing the services, and you'll notice that it automatically selected other and it put private hauler here in as the please specify. And it did that because last year that's how I had entered it for this particular question. Now, I want to point out that if it is a private hauler, then it really should be either a franchised hauler or a contracted hauler, depending on how the private hauler is set up to collect the services or to collect the MSW. So in this case, I'm going to remove private hauler and I'm going to say that it's a franchised hauler because maybe I have legislated the rates for the fees for the residents, and that's done through a franchised agreement. And so that's what I'm going to choose for them. How do residents subscribe? So if they have a fee, no fee, if they opt in directly automatically, here they have to subscribe and there is a fee associated. So I'll leave it like that. It was the same last year in my example. Collection frequency, again, we were go ahead and select one of these options. If you have a pay-as-you-throw program, yes or no. The types of containers that are used for your MSW curbside collection, so they can use bags or roll carts. Here you're allowed multiple choices, so you can enter as many choices as you need here. And if you say other, you've got to please specify if there's a particular type of container that's not listed here. Last year, I was able to provide tonnage for my MSW collection, so it automatically said yes, I can provide it again this year. If unfortunately I'm not able to get the tonnage, I can switch the answer, but if I keep it at yes, then it's going to ask me to enter the tons. And so here I can enter the tons. Nice little feature in this new version of the MMP is that I have a link here to show me, well, what happened last year? How much tons was collected and how many households were served and what was my pounds per household value? So at any time you can go and click this little report and it shows me for the previous year for 2021, the number of households I served, the number of MSW tons that I collected in 2021, and the pounds per household metric as well. So this is kind of a handy report just to be able to access while you're looking and entering your tonnage. For this year, I'm going to put in a tonnage value of 35,996 tons. If you want, you can enter any relevant information about your tonnage, so or your MSW collection services. There's a text box. You can just type in whatever you need here. And then we move on to the next section, which is our multifamily collection. So again, if my agency is responsible for providing the multifamily collection, I can select that. Number of households served for multifamily collection, I would put that in there. And if I can provide tonnage, yes or no. In this example, I'm going to say that the multifamily tonnage is provided by an open market system. So multifamily buildings have to contract their own MSW collection. There's no oversight from the city. And the last section is related to drop-off. So here, I can say if we have a municipally run drop-off, I would select the first one. Here, if the drop-off is run by another agency, so maybe the county runs a drop-off, maybe there's only private drop-off options available, or maybe I don't have a drop-off. In this case, I'm going to say it's provided by the county. I'll just say whatever XYZ county is responsible for the drop-off. In the bottom section, this section is not required, but if you have information on your final destination, maybe you send your MSW curbside material to a specific facility. So maybe there's a waste to energy facility that it goes to on Market Avenue. I don't know what Kent. Sorry, I'll just put Kent, Michigan. And maybe you have another one. Maybe it's, you know, the ABC landfill at so you can enter as many final destinations as needed. If you'd entered one by accident and you need to remove it, just click the remove button. And then moving on, the last question here in the MSW Collection Program survey is going to be your top challenges. This is important here so that we are able to collect the information and aggregate it across different states and regions to see what kind of problems people are facing with their MSW collection. So you can go ahead and select maybe illegal dumping is a bit of an issue, lack of coordination. I'm just grabbing some things, and maybe you have some issues with capacity. So at this point, I can go ahead and save my survey, and I've completed everything. So I've got no unfinished fields to complete. If I did need to save it and come back later, like say, for example, I needed to confirm the tonnage number or something, or I needed to confirm the address of one of those final destinations, I could just save it as a draft. And then come back to it later. But if I am actually done and completed the form, I would mark it as complete and select confirm. And now when I go back to my workspace, you'll see the MSW Collection Program survey is completed. The recycling is still in news, which means I have to complete that one, and the yard waste is already completed as well. Once a survey is marked complete, I'll just reopen this again. Once a survey is marked complete, these fields are locked. So you're no longer able to edit this information. So if you did need to come back and edit it, you could reach out to us and we would be able to unlock it for you. So if you go back to your workspace, you can log a program support request here. That comes to us, the MMP team, and we can go and unlock that survey for you if you needed to make changes. Once it's marked complete as well, it now gets flagged to be verified by our verification partners. So the Recycling Partnership is one of our data verifiers for MSW and recycling data. And BioCycle is our main verifier for organics data, like the yard and food waste collection program data. So the data verifiers will then look at the data, ensure as much as they can data accuracy. They might reach out to you if they have questions about some of the answers that you entered in here, and they will mark your survey as verified once their verification step is complete. So yeah, that is the MSW Collection Program survey. Thank you so much for joining. You'll find 2 more videos available to you. We're going to be showing you how to enter your recycling collection program survey, and there will be another video created here with your yard and food waste collection programs. So I hope you take a look at those, and please reach out to us if you have any questions. You can email us at mmp.re-trac.com. So mmp.re-trac.com, or you can enter a program support request once you're in the MMP. Thank you so much. Have a great day.